Brought to you by Penguin.
The Penguin Book of Christmas Stories. Edited by Jessica Harrison. Read by Shaniqua Okwok. Hans Christian Andersen. The Fir Tree. Translated by Tina Nunnally. Out in the forest stood such a charming fir tree. It was in a good spot where it could get sunshine and there was plenty of air. All around grew scores of bigger companions, both firs and pines. But the little fir tree was so eager to grow up that it didn't think about the warm sun or the fresh air. It didn't pay any attention to the farm children who walked past, chattering, whenever they were out gathering strawberries or raspberries. Often, they would come by with a whole pitcher full, or they would have strawberries threaded on a piece of straw. Then they would sit down near the little tree and say, "Oh, how charming and little it is." That's not at all what the tree wanted to hear. The following year, it was a full length taller, and the year after that yet another. On a fir tree, you can always tell how many years it has been growing by how many layers of branches it has. "Oh, if only I were a big tree like the others," sighed the little tree. "Then I could spread out my branches all around, and from the top I could gaze out on the wide world. The birds would build nests in my branches, and when the wind blew, I could nod so grandly like all the others." The tree took no pleasure in the sunshine, in the birds, or in the crimson clouds that sailed overhead both morning and evening. When it was winter, and the snow lay all around, glittering white, a hare often came bounding along and sprang right over the little tree. Oh, how annoying that was! But 2 winters passed, and by the third, the tree was so tall that the hare had to go around it. "Oh, to grow and grow, to get bigger and older. That is the only lovely thing in this world," thought the tree. In the autumn, the woodcutters would always appear to chop down some of the biggest trees. It happened every year, and the young fir tree, which was now quite grown up, would start trembling because the tall, magnificent trees would topple to the ground with a groan and a crash. Their branches would be cut off, and they looked so naked, tall and slender. They were almost beyond recognition. But then they were loaded onto wagons, and horses carried them away out of the forest. Where were they going? What was in store for them? In the spring, when the swallow and stork appeared, the tree asked them, "Do you know where they were taken? Have you seen them?" The swallows didn't know anything, but the stork looked thoughtful, nodded his head, and said, "Oh yes, I think so. I met many new ships as I flew here from Egypt. On the ships were magnificent mast trees, and I'd venture to say they were yours. They smelled of fir. I bring you many greetings. How they swaggered and swayed." "Oh, if only I too were big enough to fly across the sea. What is the sea like anyway? How does it look?" "Well, it's much too complicated to describe," said the stork, and flew off. "Enjoy your youth," said the rays of sunlight. "Enjoy your fresh growth and the young life inside you." The wind kissed the tree, and the dew shed tears over it, but the fir tree did not understand. When Christmas time came, quite young trees were felled, trees that were often not even as tall or as old as the fir tree, which could never find any peace but was always eager to be off. These young trees, and they were the most beautiful of all.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?